now heading to China, where President Xi Jinping recently held 2 days of military drills near Taiwan, calling them, quote unquote, strong punishment. China's latest move is increasing fears it might soon invade the island nation. But is there a way to potentially try to get inside the mind of Xi Jinping? Stanford University researchers are developing an artificial intelligence model to try and predict Xi's next military move. Now, it is still in the beginning stages, but the goal is to see if technology can try to figure out what would Xi do. Jacquelyn Schneider is the director of the Hoover Wargaming and Crisis Simulation Initiative and joins us live. Jacquelyn, I saw this, I read about this. This is fascinating to me. We think about artificial intelligence and what may or may not come next. Do you really think you can get inside the mind of Xi Jinping, and what are y'all up to over there at Stanford? Tell me.
Well, I don't think we can really get inside the mind of Xi Jinping. But what we can do is we can use technology and war games and iteration in order to better understand the world of possibilities. I'm not sure even Xi Jinping knows exactly what he's going to do in 5 years. But war games help us understand the potential outcomes, the ways in which things might evolve, what is more dangerous, what is less dangerous, and whether there are avenues or incidences that are more likely to lead to war.
So, you talk about war games, the Pentagon tabletop stuff all the time, stuff that may be before them right now or even years and decades down the line. Is this going to replace what folks at the Pentagon, this meaning AI, and sort of what you're doing over there at Stanford, is this going to replace the tabletopping and war games that the Pentagon has been doing for years and decades in the past, or are we not there just yet?
No, it'll never replace human players.
Okay, but that's good to know.
One of the limitations you have, though, when you're running war games is you have a limited amount of people who can play the adversary, that can play red, that can play China. And those people are making guesses about Xi Jinping's behavior, making guesses about Chinese domestic politics. So if you run a game 5 times with the same 5 players, you might get a problem with bias. So what we're trying to do is actually be complementary to what is already being done and trying to use technology to increase the amount of iteration to see the world of possible outcomes. And then we can compare it against the human behavior and say, hey, are Americans that are playing China, are they playing it like Americans? Or are they playing it like the Chinese? Something significantly different. So it's a really nice kind of complementary tool, but not a replacement to human players.
Jacquelyn, I'll leave you with this. Have you learned anything about Xi Jinping by doing this yourself personally?
I mean, I think all we can say is that the world of choices that Xi Jinping has don't lend themselves easily to a model.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.